Welcome, it's King Lizzard on Xbox One with Forza Motorsport 6 racing action in the form of part 11 of my Porsche Anthology DLC. So this is one of the career races from the Porsche expansion for Forza Motorsport 6, and I'm driving up against Pro AI. Man, does this thing shift. And I'm driving a 1980s classic Porsche. Been hit from the rear there, thank you there, Mr. Mercedes 190. And this thing is the 1982 Porsche 911 Turbo 3.3. It was also known as the Porsche 930 in the US, I believe. Now this thing is 296 horsepower, it's a real animal of a car, rear end engine, really sliding around that corner. I'm really going to have to watch it with this car. It's going to be so easy to get carried away with it because it's just crazy fast. But there's a big group of cars up front here that have got quite a gap on us, so I've managed to sneak myself into fourth here. Whoa, serious oversteer. Now these cars were known for oversteer problems back in the 80s, and also the other thing they kind of what's the word I could use, featured, shall we say, is turbo lag, basically where the turbo kind of stalls out and then kicks back in again, and when you're going around a corner that can be pretty scary stuff. So this monstrosity took, I think it was quite a few years before the US actually saw this and kind of named it the 930, but obviously in Europe this was quite a popular little beastie in the day, and it's a car that you will know very well from a couple of features. It's flared wheel arches and its spoiler, which is something they call a whale tail, real monstrous spoiler on the back of this car, obviously designed to help control some of this oversteer that we're getting on the rear end. But really nice car to drive. This, it is ultra quick at getting off the mark. Once you kind of peter out though, it's not so quick at gathering the top speeds I'm seeing at the moment. So I've got fourth place here. That sun is absolutely blinding. I can't really see what's going on here. Hopefully I'm going to make this corner. Yep, got through there. So catching up with third place here, see if I can reel this dude in. And we are of course at Nurburgring GP. It's a 3-lap race of the full Nurburgring GP circuit, and I should get this guy. Yep, I've got him. Okay, I'm in third place. Second and first have got a big lead at this point at the end of lap 1 here, so I've got a lot of work to do on pro difficulty, no assists, to reel these guys in. The only thing I'm not doing here, I am driving manual, but I'm not using a clutch. I just haven't got used to that or got my brain to do that yet. For those of you who don't watch very often, I do suffer from severe sleep apnea, which is the equivalent of, I think it's 14 minutes for every 7 hours sleep I have if I'm not using a machine to sleep. The other issue I have is also depression, unfortunately, and tinnitus, all of which help with my sleep, of course. So I can get pretty tired pretty quick these days, but I do my best in these racing events for you to see what I can pull off. At the moment I'm kind of in limbo between professional and unbeatable, but I'm not quite good enough to make unbeatable yet, hence why I'm driving this one in pro still. Now I did do some unbeatable races which I'll get up on the channel not too distant future, where I was actually able to pull in a podium or two. So hopefully I'll make the transition in the not too distant future to unbeatable again, because obviously that's the way I used to drive in Forza Motorsport 5 and Forza Motorsport 4. So I'm getting a little bit closer to these guys in second and first, and what I'll do on the next lap, I'll give you guys a bit of a run through on Nurburgring GP, and you know, some sort of guidance, if you're looking for guidance of course, on how to take some of these corners once I get across that finish line. And as usual, once the race is concluded, I'll put the replay on so you guys can see the action from the externals and appreciate the aesthetics that is the Porsche 1982 911 Turbo 3.3. So into this massive straight here, or well, not quite straight, obviously a bit of a corner in it, but it's a speedy section, nice fast section with a hell of an S-bend at the end. So totally blinded again going into this corner. Managed to come out of that quite nicely. going up into almost our third lap here. We get around this really tight U-turn, and as we get into the straight, around about 2/3 of the way down, we are going to hit the finish line, which is going to take us into lap 3. So I'm getting I was getting a lot closer to car number 2 there, but he seems to be pulling away at the moment. So you want to slow right down for this particular corner after the main straight. Drop it into first, you'll get a nice tight angle. If you go in second, you're going to go wide, and it won't be bad, but it will, cause you to drift out a lot further than you need. Now, this particular section you can get reasonable speed on. Keep it in second for this particular car, and the reason I've kept it in second, this car is just very lively, so if I keep it in first, I'm going to spin out and probably lose the rear end. Now, that corner I just passed back there, again, you want to keep her in second. Try and keep a bit tighter than I did there. I went a little bit wide. This one, you can get some good speed round, but whatever you do, don't go in fourth gear and don't flat out. You will go wide onto that grass. Back it right down here into second. Punch her out for the next section. We've got a bit of speed here. Once we get to the end of this particular section, we're going to have a reasonably tight U-turn. However, we can get around this reasonably well by a nice soft gear change. Make it a tidy gear change so you don't lose control, and then put a foot down on the pedal again for the next section. Now, this next corner coming up is quite a nasty left. You can get good speed around here. Whatever you do, don't change up into a higher gear because it will send you wide. So another nice fast section before we get to this left-hander. This is quite a tight one. You do want to drop it down into your second gear here. Quite nicely taken, that one. And then we've got this section here again. Keep her in second, depending on your car, of course. And then we can floor this. Now, in this particular car, I can get away with absolutely flooring it all the way through. Obviously, the faster the car, if you're driving something that's capable 150 plus, you definitely don't want to flat it out through that corner. You just want to back off. Slow right down for this one into first gear. Had to do that. I was going to hit that car in front there. That appears to be a BMW M1 actually. Another classic 80s car, of course. Tapped him up the backside there. So I'm right on top of these guys at the end of lap 3. It's going to be seriously tight. I'm definitely getting for second place here. So first place has just got that little bit too much of a lead, so I'm not going to make it, I don't think. He's just going to put me in the line. That was seriously close and pressured racing. This car is a really, really good drive. Really enjoyed that. It is a bit of a handful with no assists. However, it's doable. As you can see, I was driving Pro there. I didn't get the first place. Pro is pretty difficult. However, I'm really, really happy to have reeled in that second place there. That was a tough old race. I wasn't so sure I was actually going to get better than third there for a minute, but I managed to reel it in at last. So Porsche 944 leading me out there in front. We've also got, I think that's 206 there, I think. And big skid there as I went around the corner, almost brought me to a stop there. And then round that corner there. Had a few sort of tits and tats as I went round some of the early corners because it was quite boxed in with a number of cars that were there. But then this thing on this section here absolutely boosts me through. Managed to get past those cars there. Some serious backward slide there as I went round the corner. And then quite a tidy U-turn there as we're coming out. And then into a nice bit of speed section coming up to this U-turn. You're going to have to drop her right down into second here. If you do it tidy enough, you'll keep control. If you change gear too early, obviously that's just going to cause you to spin, and then that is going to cause you some big problems in terms of the control department. So trying to get used to changing down gears smoothly. I'm not perfect. I'm getting there. I'm still reasonably new to manual gearing again as of the past few months, but it does take a while to kind of get it right, if you like. But I'm almost there, I think, almost there. So at this point I'm going to leave you guys and gals to enjoy the rest of this replay, and I'll be back at the end of the video. Enjoy the rest of the race. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'll be back again with plenty more Forza Motorsport 6 on King Lizzard's Game Lounge in the not too distant future, plus lots of other gaming goodies. Please take the time to rate and subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, don't be shy. Click that sub button, you know you want it. Take care, keep well, and keep watching. I hope to see you back again soon.